Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing well. I am going to explain determinants, class 12 topic. This is part 1 of my video. I will be explaining definition and properties here. If you like the video, please do subscribe the channel. Let us first understand the definition. It states that every square matrix of order n can associate a number which is called as determinant of the square matrix A. Now, as I expect from you all that you have already studied the matrices. So you must be knowing about square matrices in which number of rows and columns are same. If we take any square matrix, then to that square matrix we can associate a single number which is known as the determinant of square matrix. Firstly, let us understand what is the difference between the matrix and the determinant. See, for matrix, we have proper representation of numbers, but determinant is having one unique numerical value, which is not so in the case of matrices. Matrix can be of any order 2 cross 3, 3 cross 2, 1 cross 2, but in determinants, we are dealing only with the square matrices. If we interchange rows and columns of matrices, we are getting new matrix. But interchanging the rows and columns does not impact the determinant. It remains same, which you will understand in the next coming slides. Now, what is the need for determinants? See, you have already studied in class 10th for linear equations a1x plus b1y equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y equal to c2. These have solution only if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. And from where these a1, a2, b1, b2 are coming? These are the coefficients of x and y in the linear equations. Now, as we know that we can represent these coefficients in the form of matrices also, which is named as A, A1, A2, B1, B2, which is coefficient matrix, then the matrix of variables X, Y, and the matrix C, which is the matrix of constants. Now, when we are solving these kind of equations, if you want to solve these kind of equations, you need determinants. Here is a need for determinants. In order to solve such kind of equations, we need determinants. Here is an example also. Suppose 3x plus 2y is equals to 11 and 2x plus y is equals to 8. It can be represented in the matrix form 3, 2, 2, 1, xy and 11, 8. Next, how to calculate the determinant for matrix of order 1. It is very simple. The value will be the number itself which is written in the matrix. Suppose we have A is equals to 3, the singleton matrix, then determinant of A will be 3 only. Next, determinant of matrix of order 2 cross 2. Again, it is also very simple. You just have to move across the diagonal. Firstly, you will move from A11 to A22 and then from A12 to A21. A11 into A22 minus A21 into A12 will be your determinant. Now let us try to understand determinant of a matrix of order 3 cross 3. Here you have to follow one approach, which is sum of suffixes. Sum of suffixes means that you have to take the sum of suffixes for the elements which are written in the determinant and you have to check whether it is coming even or odd. Depending on that, you will put the sign of plus or minus. See here, it is 1 1. So sum is 2, which is a even number. So even means you have to put plus and odd means you have to put minus. Here it is 1 2. So that is sum is 3, which is odd number. So you have to put one minus sign outside, which is here. Next is 1 3. This is the sum will be 4. So which is again an even number. So you will again put plus sign. Now how to evaluate the determinant? Let us understand. I hope you have understood some of suffixes. Now in order to understand the value or evaluation of the determinant, you have to fix the rows or column along which you want to calculate. Suppose we are calculating here for the first row. So you have to fix this row, and then you will be fixing columns also, but one by one. You have to fix column also, but one by one means that when you are calculating for number A, so A will be written outside and you have to fix this column now. So what are the entries which are left? We have EFHI. So it will become A times determinant of EFHI. Similarly, when we are taking for second entry B, you have to fix again this column now. So what is left? D, F, G, I. So which is written here D, F, G, I, and this sign I have already explained. This is from some of suffixes. Next is the entry C. That means you have to fix now the third column. So first two columns entries will be left, which is D, E, G, H. So it will become C times determinant of D, E, G, H. Now let us understand one important property which states that if any matrix is k times another matrix, then determinant of A will become k raised to the power n determinant of B. Here what does this n signify? It signifies the order of the matrix. See, here each element of matrix is multiplied by the constant. Suppose we are taking matrix A as 1 4 2 2, then we are taking another matrix 2A, which is 2 4 8 4. So each element is multiplied by 2. So from each row 1 as well as row 2, you have to take out 2 outside. So it will become 2 square outside and the remaining things will remain same. So the answer will become 4 times determinant of A. This is the shortcut way to calculate the determinant. Although you can calculate determinant stepwise also, like we are calculating for A in LHS, and then we are calculating for another matrix 4 times determinant of A for RHS, and we will verify that this result holds, that is LHS is coming equal to be RHS. So you can apply this shortcut technique in order to calculate determinants in faster way. Here we are having one caution. What is the caution? That while comparing the determinants, you have to be very careful. What some students are doing, they are just comparing the elements, but you must be remembering the definition. It says that determinant is a numerical value. So we cannot compare the entries. Here you have to compare the numerical values of the determinant. So for that we can observe here that 2 is will not be equal to 2x, but we have to calculate the determinant for this entry, that is 2 minus 20, that will become minus 18, and the determinant for the next one, which is 2x square minus 24. So on solving we will get x square equal to 3 and x will be plus minus root 3. Next are the properties of the determinants. The first property states that the value of the determinant remains unchanged even if its rows and columns are interchanged. So when we are interchanging the rows and columns, that means we are going to take the transpose. So transpose is not going to impact determinant in any way. Although in the case of matrices, it would have changed the matrix. But here it is not going to impact it in any way, which you can see in the example. Determinant of A, if we are calculating, it is coming minus 28. And if we are taking the transpose, that is we are interchanging the rows and columns, again it is coming minus 28. So the determinant is not impacted by taking transpose in any way. Next property states that if any two rows of a determinant or columns of a determinant are interchanged, then the sign of the determinant changes. Suppose we have a matrix A, or we want to calculate for 1, 2, 5, 2, 6, 7, 3, 5, 8, and we are interchanging the row 1 and 2, then the determinant of A will be same as determinant of B, only difference will be the sign. It will be minus of determinant of B. Determinant of A, that is the new determinant, is going to be, the values will be same but with the negative sign. And if you are making this interchange one time, so it will be minus. Again, if you are making the interchanges even number of times, the value will become plus. So, or you can say that the number, it depends on the number of interchanges. Next property states that if any two rows or columns of a determinant are identical means these are same, then the value of determinant is 0. Now here is very simple example. Here we are having this determinant, but we can see that no two rows or columns are same. But if we apply one column operation C1 to C1 minus 8C3, then we are going to get the column 1 coincides column 2. That means the determinant is going to vanish now. This you can verify by calculating the determinant of previous determinant and the determinant of the transformed determinant. Next property states if each element of row or column is multiplied by a constant, then the value of determinant will be k times. This we have already understood, that we can take this k factor common outside. So determinant of a times k times a will become k times determinant of a. That means we can take out this k common from the determinant. But if we are multiplying in the matrix and then we are taking out common, then it will be taken out common from each row or column. But here we are multiplying the k with only first row, as we can see in the example. So if it is k outside, then we have to multiply k for the one, that power will be 1 here. But if it is for 3 rows, then the power will be 3, as it was explained in the previous slide. Next is if corresponding elements of any two rows or columns of a determinant are proportional, or in the same ratio, then its value is 0. This we can infer from the previous result, that suppose here we are having the determinant 1 1 2 2 2 4 3 4 8. Then we can observe that this row 1 is 2 times row 2. So these are proportional, or they are in the same ratio. So this determinant is going to vanish, that is, the value will become 0. You can calculate and find out this. We can infer this from the previous property also. How? As the two factor can be taken out common, and when we are taking out this 2 common, then these two rows are now identical. And when two rows are identical or two columns are identical, here we are having two rows, then the determinant is going to be 0. Next is, if elements of a row or a column in a determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more elements, then the given determinant can be expressed of sum of two or more determinants. Let us take example. Suppose here we are having one determinant, but here we can observe this row 2. These are having entries a plus 2x, b plus 2y, c plus 2z. That is, we are having sum of two or more elements. Here two elements are there, a 2x, b 2y, c 2z, like this. So they are saying that we can split the determinants. How? We just have to keep the rows 1 and row 3 intact. We will not change these, but we will split this row 2. So it will become, the first entries we will write in the first determinant. This is determinant 1 and this is determinant 2. So, and the second entry we are going to write in the second determinant, but row 1 and row 3 will remain as it is. Row 1 and row 3 will remain as it is. So when we are splitting, now you can observe that this row 1, in the first determinant, row 1 is identical to row 2, and in the second determinant, when we can take 2 common again here, so it will be 2 times the determinant. The row 2 is identical to row 3 when we are taking this 2 common. So as we can apply the previous property here, that if two rows are identical, the determinant is going to be 0. So it will become 0 plus 0, that is 0. Next property states, if to each element of a row or a column of a determinant, the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other rows or columns are added, then the value of determinant remains same. Let me explain it in the simple way. It states that the value of determinant will be same if we apply the operations. Either we apply Ri plus Krj or Ci plus Kcj. Like this, if we are applying any of the operations on the rows or columns, the value of determinant will not change, as it is x, y, z, a, b, c, and we have applied row 1 is transformed to row 1 to row 1 plus 3 times row 2. So it is not going to change the value of determinant in any way. The value will remain same.